There. Um, so today I'm planning on working on Conduit. Um, I have already started. Um, this is Conduit AMQP. I have already started working on. That's weird. Where'd the source thing go? Let's see. GitHub.com. Conduit. So last thing I did was I started building mix generators for a broker. So the way Conduit works, as a little overview, is that you define a broker. That broker is responsible for creating queues that you need, um, defining all of your subscribers that subscribe from queues, and then all of your publishers which publish to queues. And so what I was doing last time I did this 7 days ago um, was defining a mixed generator that created the initial broker file for you and sort of gave you some information in that file about how to set things up and stuff like that. So I'm going to pick up there, and I'm also going to maybe also make it to defining a generator for what are they, subscribers. So with that in mind, let's go to Conduit. So let's close some stuff here. So Conduit Gen Broker is what I was writing. So this basically defines a run, and it looks something more like this. So you run mix Conduit Gen Broker, you give it a path, you can specify the adapter, the app, and the module. Then we parse the args, and we get the switches in the argv. So argv would be path here, and then switches would be all these things here. And we basically look at the argv and make sure that we've got a path there. This will be a better error message at some point. But then we basically have a bunch of little helper methods to get various properties based off of what flags were passed. And then the final thing is we define this assigns thing, and then we call create broker. So then create broker down here creates the directory that we need for that file to exist, and then creates the file itself here, and uses a template which we defined here. So here we're using mixes embed template. So that defines a function that returns this template basically filled in with all the assigns. So calling broker template calls the function that embed template defines, uses assigns, and you can see where we use assigns in the various places to fill it out. And then finally, it displays an info message telling the user about other places that they need to add lines to basically configure their broker. So I guess one thing I'm going to start with is just make this a better error message. So let's just so let's raise an argument error here, and then say so I want to say something like no path defined, but no path specified. Then if we get a path, that's fine. All this other stuff is optional. And then we do that. So, am I using all my flags? So I defined path, parent module, module, app, and adapter. So here I reference the so I reference the module, but I don't say to configure an adapter here. So that's a problem. So the adapter should be conduit AMQP or conduit SQS. So let's change this to AMQP. And then let's make this conduit SQS. And that's going to let us basically use them as is. So now I can do interpolation, assigns, and then the adapter. And then comma. So now I need to interpolate the adapter settings. So I'm just going to cut this right now, and I'm going to interpolate adapter settings, and then I'm just going to pass that assigns adapter. So then I'm just going to define a function down here, def fp adapter settings adapter. So this is going to, we're just going to pattern match here. So if it's conduit SQS, we do something, and then if it's adapter settings, if it's conduit AMQP, then we return this. Yeah, so we need to quote this, and let's just escape these. All right, and then for SQS, these are going to be a little bit more complicated. I actually want them to look a little bit like, that's not it. Where's conduit SQS? Config, test. Nope. Dev. Where did it, oh, I put it in the README. That's what I was looking for. Config. Here we go. So for this, we want it to look like this. So we can take that, place it over here. So let's do triple equals. Oops. So we can do that. One thing I'm not sure about is indentation here. If I have this indented like this, will this be correctly indented for both of them? I have a feeling it won't be. So I'll need to fix that. But I can probably. So how far is that? 6. So it's likely that I'll need to do something like that. So that's the adapter settings. The module is fine. The app is fine. Okay, yeah. So I also wrote tests for this, so we can take a look at those. Basically, it creates a temporary directory to generate all the files into. One test just asserts that if we pass something invalid, then it raises an error. This next test asserts that it just asserts that about what we print to the log. And then this test is testing that we actually created the file that we wanted to create. And then this test basically tests whether or not the file that we created has the content that we expected it to have. So let's run our tests. And I expect it to actually not break because I've just changed it, that one piece to have a function. Looks like it broke anyways. So adapter. Oh, right. I did add something, which was I specified what adapter to use. So that should be there. And then slash, comma. So let's run that. So fxsetter. I'm not actually sure what's wrong here. This is something that I wasn't expecting. It seems like maybe maybe gzip is producing different results than what I expect. What's the difference here? 31, 139, 8, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 19. This one's got 3. I have no idea why that would have changed. Yeah, that's very perplexing to me. Well, I guess we know what the value is supposed to be. Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, so that's in gzip. Oh wait, so the decompression produced the same answer? So if I take this and use it here, does that still pass? Interesting. This is encoding. Oops. I just want this. Okay, and then that there. That's really bizarre. The weird thing is that, so encoding it to some binary format for gzip was producing a different result, but decoding the old value produced the same result. So I'm not sure what that's about. All right, let's just add those two real quick. Lib conduit. Okay, so now back to testing this. All right, so we've got passing test case for describing this whenever our adapter is conduit AMQP. We also want to add a test for this whenever whenever the adapter is sorry, I was just looking at, I realized I need to also specify the library. So yeah, so we also want to test here that we're saying how to add conduit SQS if they pick that adapter. So prints broker being created and info about other files to update for conduit SQS, and then let's just say for conduit AMQP. So now here, all that's the same except this changes to SQS, and this should look like where'd it go? Here it is. This. And then so here I want to say add so one problem I'm running into is I need the module name for the adapter and the lowercase name for the adapter. So I'm going to, well actually I'll write it out in test, and then I will I'll write it out in test, and then I'll do the implementation. So add, here will be conduit SQS to your dependencies. So in mix.exs, yeah, exs. So then this will be just conduit SQS, and then here we need a version. So let's just say O.1. So tilde wiki that, and that should be it. And then make sure I'm pulling p.exs, and then that, and then that. Let's also do the same thing up here. Add conduit AMQP and that one, that should work as well, I believe. Yeah, let's just say 4 for now. So add conduit AMQP to your dependencies in mix.axs, and then make sure you add the config and add it to your supervisor. All right, so that looks good. Let's run our test. We'll get failures. So let's make sure that we're now doing the code to add that line. So in here, we can copy this. All right, so this should be assigns adapter, and same thing here. And then I'm going to make this adapter module. And here we need adapter version. I spelled assigns. I'm just going to define little helper functions for each of these. So adapter version, and let's do the same thing for module. So let's make this the lowercase version again. Then adapter module that's going to return the canalized version. And then same thing for SQS. All right. And then same thing for version. So let's just copy these. And then here we can do tilde waka, and then it was 0.4, and then this one was tilde waka 0.1, and then it's actually we should just ask the user to put in the protocol, and then we'll translate it to the conduit stuff. So, all right. So that'll be that. Let's run that undefined function. I misspelled the signs. Okay. So on line 53 of our test, this is for SQS. We expect to see conduit SQS there, which we see here, but the left, this part here, so we didn't actually specify a different adapter. That's why that didn't do anything. So let's do -- adapter, and then SQS here. Okay, so that looks a lot better. So right and left, the differences are here we're missing quotes. So let's quote that. In here. So we need double quotes around this. Sometimes the editor's trying to be too smart with quotes and won't let you do what you need to do. Alright. So that should fix that. Now, so we're saying config myapp1, and then that shouldn't be conduit SQS there. So this should be adapter module. Oops. And then this should be just module. Okay. Now we just have one failure. Looks like there's a new line that's extra. And it's right after, so it's missing and it's right after instance role. So it seems to be saying there's no new line here. Oh no, there's supposed to be 2 here. So that seems wrong. So let's get rid of that and then make sure we have, oh, it's because I used multi-line here. So let's just, let's use I can't use that because that's used here. We can use angle brackets. So then here I want a /n, and then 6 spaces, and then this, and then we can get rid of that. Okay. You know, I'm realizing I can just define a template for this and then use IEX like I am here. And then I don't have to do some of this weird stuff I'm doing. Let's do that. So this is the broker template. Let's embed another template. So we're going to call this what do I call that section? Let's call it broker info. And then we can take everything we have in here and place it down here. Like so, and then so this is the same regardless of adapter as is that. But these 2 sections vary. So let's just do percent equals if, actually let's do case assigns, oh actually I can just do at adapter here, do, and then the first case will be let's see, it'll just be conduit SQS. And then here we'll have if, alright, so conduit SQS to your dependencies in mix.exs. And we can put conduit SQS here. And we can put tilde waka o.1. And then, so that'll be the same, that'll be the same. Here we want to vary though. So, oh, actually, we should change this to interpolation at app. Is that what was there? Yeah. And then same thing here. Percent equals at module. And then this will be just conduit SQS. And then we can take the settings I had up here. And do that. And then we can define the end of our case. And then we can define our second case. So it'll be conduit AMQP. And then we'll take all this stuff, repeat it here, and oops, fix it so it references conduit AMQP. That should be URL. All right. So that should be all of that. No longer need any of this. And then info here we can just use broker info template and pass assigns. And run that. Whoops. So I need this. And here I need this. Okay, so the difference here looks like I'm missing a new line on left than I have on right. So this would be left. So it thinks I should have a new line. Where was that? After instance role. So after this, I have an extra new line that I don't have in my tests. So if I did this, will that? So that fixed one of them. And adding in here would fix the other. So I actually don't want that new line. So how can I get rid of that? I think I just need to get rid of this. So I fixed the one and broke the other. So let's go fix the other. Cool. So now we correctly swap between the two adapters, and now we can let's see, what else do we want to do? Suppose we could try out some of these other flags. So we did an adapter, we could change app. We could change module. So one thing is, I kind of want the path to be relative to lib. It's kind of weird if you specify a path including lib. So you basically have to specify where you want to create the broker. I'm not sure what to do here. So I would prefer I'm not sure. I want to go look and see what other things do. So what does Ecto do when you say genrepo? So it So it just creates a repository in the lib directory. It doesn't care. It's like, that's where it's going, I don't care. What else has generators? Bamboo, Freelixer. So they don't have generators. What's that other Elixir email thing? Swoosh. Do they have generators? Nope. Wait, and so how does Ecto know what app to use? So it starts by so it requires the repo name. And then it does what? So it generates the underscore version of repo. And then it splits that and that's how it picks the wait, and then config app. Oh wait, can I just oh, I feel dumb. I didn't realize you could just get the config app from next project. So that means I don't even need to ask for app name here. So this is unnecessary. So let's just blow this away. Oh well, we can still get it, we just don't need any of that stuff. So let's blow that away. And then we can do config equals mix.application.config. Is that right? Mix project. And then from that, we want to take app. Where'd it go? Yeah, so is that keyword list or a map? It should be keyword list, right? It's just the same as this here. Yeah, so that's keyword list. So let's do keyword.get app. And then let's get rid of these args here. So now we have our app. get module does camelize of app.broker unless they specify module. So that's fine. Then we need to pick a directory for it to live in. So I don't think this makes sense. So adapter makes sense, module could make sense. I think what I want to add is like namespace. So if I did that, then by default I would just pick your application. So it would be, if your app was called my app, then I would build my app.broker. Actually, I probably want it to be like my app queue. .broker, something like that. So that's the default, and then you can change the namespace to be like your app or whatever, and that would be fine. And then we can just make actually, we could just handle all of that with just the module itself. Because if module, you specify my app broker, then we know to put it in that folder. If you specify my app queue, which we'll do as the default, then we know to put it in that folder. So let's go with that. That's simpler. All right, so we've got the app. We get the module. So let's do it this way. So that way we get the camelized version of the app. So if it's my app, then it's my app queue.broker. And then we can use that to generate the path. So let's do path equals and we'll also do file. So get path. So parent module. What do I use that for? Ah, right. So I get the path of the parent module, and then file from module. So here I can do some macro dot underscore. Parent module. So let's do some IX real quick. Macro dot underscore my app q dot foo dot car whoops, macro. Okay, yeah, so that basically just turns into a file system. That works. And then so then I want to do path.join that plus lib. So that's the path, and then we can do defp get file from module. Here we just want to do module string dot split dot and then enum dot at -1, and then let's see, what do we want to do here? So that's camel cased, and we want to do macro dot underscore, like so. So here we'll have path, file. This will be .x. So let's just add that here. Oh wait, sorry, that's path. I do it for file. Oh, is there a append? No. Well, I can do this. Okay, so path, file, parent module, module, app, and adapter. So then create broker. Let's break this up actually. All right. So create broker is going to create the directory, which will be the path. Then we're going to take the path and the file name, so which will be assigns file there, and then we'll build the file, and then broker template assigns, and then info of that. So let's kill that and run our tests again. Ooh. Oh, we have an atom there rather than let's just toString on that. Then we will have a string there. Oh, fudge. I am now realizing that this is going to start creating files in a directory I don't want it to. Yeah, it's going to create it in lib now. Well, we can go look at them now. Conduit queue. So that's pretty cool. The main problem is just that we're now generating a directory under our lib for tests, which we definitely don't want to be doing. How do I want to approach that? So actually, all these are going to be conduit now. I don't really want to add a setting just to get around this. So how are we creating the file again? We're doing create file with broker file. We're using assigns path. The path we build from the module. Oh, actually, so I could just, I'm still going to want to put it under lib though, because I've essentially hard-coded that. Well, so I can handle that. So if I, where do I get lib? Let's make this a function. Call that base path. And we'll just do conduit, pipe that into application.getEnd, and then give it this thing. And then do keyword get base path, and then we'll default that to lib. Then inside of our test, config. Oh, do I not have config for tests? I don't not have any config. I'm just going to do if mix.env is test, do config conduit this guy here, and then base path temp. So now if I run that, so at least we're creating and removing that directory. So let's comment this out real quick. Okay, so we do have temp that we're creating. Oh, it's not showing up here. Cool. All right, so let's fix our test now that we're not passing in app anymore. We're going to get conduit everywhere. Or conduit queue. So in our test, we expect this to be now just conduit queue. So actually we should globally replace that. Accepts that Actually, so this one won't be that. This one won't be that. So let's run that again. Let's fix this one. This one should be easy. So broker test 99. This will be a conduit Q. So 23. I just need to replace my up1 with conduit broker. Okay. And then similar here, 55. So this is no longer used. So I just want these two actually. So this will be conduit Q. This will be conduit, and then this will be conduit Q. That one should be easy to fix. Line 91. Oh, we're getting an argument error because we require a path, but now we no longer require a path. So argv you can actually ignore. Get rid of that case. Get rid of that. And just do everything that we're doing here. Like that. All right. So that should fix that one case. Oh, but we should get rid of the test in that situation. All right, so this is 99 from the test. So that's fixed, but this isn't. All right, so this should be conduit Q. This. So that should be conduit. So one problem I'm going to run into is in SQS, whenever you define queue names, you can't use dots. And in AMQP, you're encouraged to use dots because they're used as separators for things like routing keys. So I need to basically have two versions of this stuff where I use the dash or the dot depending on which adapter it is. So to do that, I'm going to define a separator in the assigns. So let's do queue separator. And that's just going to depend on the adapter. So let's do the same way we're doing everything else. So then we can do conduit AMQP, which will just be dot, and then copy that, do SQS, which will be dash. So now we have queue separator, which we can use. So here, so do that, and that. And okay. There's another one. So subscribe, publish, publish. Okay. Now another thing I'm seeing is oh, I don't want to do this if it's SQS. I want to do something else. So let's just run a test first. This will probably pass because I don't think I'm testing the other version of that file for AMQP. So generates the broker with the expected content with no customization. For AMQP. Let's do it like that. And this is unnecessary. So let's do this same test, but for SQS. So if we run that, we'll get a failure because we use dots instead of dashes. And then we should have this without that. And we should add conduit q dash error. I should probably just wrap these sections for the two adapters since they're the ones that vary. And the rest of this is all pretty similar otherwise. So let's do that. So instead of doing this queue separator thing, let's just do I wish I had a shortcut to inject these quickly. Case at adapter do so conduit SQS want it to do not that. So let's do AMQP. So this is AMQP, and then it's in that. And then we can duplicate it. And instead do dash here, and then add dash here as well. Then let's see, error destination is going to vary. This incoming blast over there. So let's handle that. So that is this version. And this version. Let's take that, do this error destination, basically all three of these together. So let's take that and put that in here. So those are dot. And then this is supposed to be that. So let's take all that, paste that into there, and then do dash here, then dash, dash. And then this should be there. Our destination is tracking serialize. Alright, so that looks better. So I'm generating more new lines than I was before. So one is at the end of the file. What character is that? 2 spaces. Pipeline in tracking. Oh. Does that fix it? Alright, so the main problem is just I'm getting extra new lines now. So where's the first one? On the left, it's missing the new line after OTP add. So on the left, it's missing the new line after here. So I fix one of them. Now publish error. Wait. So application JSON here. Need to get rid of that space. Same thing here. And I probably need to do this. Alright, so looks like I just have one extra new line, which is fine. Oh, and then so it should be this one, should have a dash there. So that's one of them. And then the one up above, I just need a new line here. And then they should be green. Cool. That's what I do here. So we simplified the options. Oh, I can get rid of get queue separator because that's not used anymore. And then let's rerun that. Okay. So now the main thing that I'm missing is just test for the other option you can specify here, which is the module. So I think all I'm going to do there is test that it's creating a new file, and then do some key checks inside of that file. mainly probably just this here. Oh, actually, this should be. Oh no, that's right. So I'm gonna just check the def module line. So let's do that. So this is actually creates broker and the expected directory, and test creates broker in expected directory based on module name. So let's do that. So then we can do that, and we'll pass the flag module, and then let's just do my app dot broker, and then this should be my app now, app broker, and then we can assert file.read of that. Let's actually store that. Contents equals that. And then we can do contents equals tilde def module my app dot broker, and then do, yeah, so we should have that line there. And we're going to call that good enough. So let's run that. I expect that to work already though. Cool. So now we've tested each of our flags. We simplified stuff, so let's go ahead and check that in. So simplified generate command for broker and support multiple adapters. And we'll push that up. So I think that's a good stopping point for tonight, so that's where I'm going to end it. Thanks for watching. Bye.